After studying this module, you shall be able to know about the significance of electron microscopy, the basic principle and forensic application of electron microscopy, scanning and transmission type of electron microscopes. Electron microscopes are scientific instruments that use a beam of extremely energetic electrons to study objects on a precise scale. This examination can produce information about the topography, morphology, composition and crystallographic information about the object. Light microscopes had certain limitations as the physics of light to 500 times or 1000 times magnification and a resolution of 0.2 micrometers, instigating thereby the development of electron microscopes. In early 1930s, this theoretical limit had been reached and there was a scientific aspiration to comprehend the fine details of the interior structures of organic cells like nucleus, mitochondria, etc. This required 10,000 times and above magnification, which was just not imaginable using light microscopes. The transmission electron microscope (TEM) was the first type of electron microscope to be developed and is designed accurately on the light transmission microscope, except that a focus beam of electrons is used as a replacement of light to see through the specimen. Max Knoll and Ernest Ruska developed the instrument in Germany in 1931. However, the first scanning electron microscope (SEM) came out in 1942 with the first commercial instruments around 1965. Its delayed development was because of the electronics behind the scanning the beam of electrons through the sample. Most microscopes can be classified as one of the three basic types, which are optical, charged particle or scanning probes. The electron microscopes uses an electron beam to create an image, with electromagnets acting as lenses. The limit of resolution is improved by a factor of 1000 over the light microscope. The transmission electron microscope produces a two-dimensional image of an ultra-thin section by capturing electrons that have passed through the specimen. The degree of interaction between the electrons and the heavy metal stain influence the kinetic energy of electrons which are collected by a fluorescent plate. The light of fluctuating intensity produced is directly proportional to the electron's kinetic energy and is used to produce the image. The transmission electron microscope is useful for studying a cell's interior and its ultrastructure. A scanning electron microscope used to make a three-dimensional image of the specimen surface. Principle of electron microscopy. Electrons accelerated to a particular potential possess the same wavelength, which constitutes a more or less monochromatic beam. The beam of high energy electrons interacts with the specimen within a certain area of cross section depending upon the electron beam energy. An accelerated electron penetrates into the electron cloud of an atom and its path is deflected, causing it to scatter an angle. In some cases, even complete backscattering can occur, generating the backscattered electrons. Electron microscope utilizes all such interactions occurring between the matter and the highly accelerated electron incident on it. These transmitted electrons are focused with the help of electromagnetic lenses and their very short wavelength allows the specimen to be imaged with a very high spatial resolution as compared to the light microscope. Highly accelerated electrons are able to transmit through a thin specimen and are used for the formation of image in transmission electron microscopy. These electrons can transmitted unscattered through the specimen, else can be scattered elastically or inelastically. In elastic scattering, the incident electrons are deflected from their original path and scattered by atoms in the specimen in an elastic fashion without any loss of energy. Such electron leave the sample with almost same kinetic energy and velocity as was possessed by it initially. However, the trajectory of electron may change after interaction with the specimen. An inelastic interaction involves transfer of energy from the incident electrons to the sample so that the energy of electron after interaction with the sample is reduced. These scattered electrons are then transmitted through the remaining portions of the specimen and can be analyzed by using magnetic lenses to form a configuration of spots, each spot corresponding to a specific atomic spacing. This pattern can then yield information about the orientation, atomic arrangements and phases present in the area being examined. Thick specimen does not allow incident electrons to transmit through, instead results into the interaction in same plane generating electrons with diverse energies. These electrons are used for imaging in SEM. Some of the electrons and radiations generated as a result of matter-electron interaction and are used in electron microscopy imaging are discussed as follows. Backscattered electrons. Electrons reflected back after colliding with the specimen by elastic scattering through an angle greater than 90 degrees are called backscattered electrons. These electrons can be distinguished on the basis of their high kinetic energy as they escape from the sample with energies quite equivalent to the primary beam energy. The fraction of primary electrons that escape as BSE is given as backscattering coefficient eta, which varies directly with the specimen's atomic number. The high atomic number elements cause more production of BSEs and appear brighter than lower atomic number elements. Therefore, backscattered electron images show contrast in different parts of the specimen having different average atomic number. Secondary electrons. During inelastic interaction, the incident electrons may transfer their energy to the outer shell or valence electrons. These electrons are electrostatically weakly bound to the nucleus and need only a small amount of energy to overcome the binding force and to eject out into the vacuum. These are called secondary electrons. Most secondary electrons eject with a very small kinetic energy. Therefore, only those which are also close to the surface, that is generated only within very small depth less than 2 nanometer, are able to escape into the vacuum. Due to this reason, secondary electrons are utilized by SEM imaging to study topography of the specimen. The secondary electron coefficient delta is calculated as the average number of secondary electrons produced per primary electron. Inner shell ionization. The incident electron passing very close to an atom might transfer a part of its energy to an inner shell electron. However, for ejection, these electrons require large amount of energy as they are strongly bound to the atom. If the accelerated electron possesses enough of the energy for its ejection, the inner shell electron is ejected as high kinetic energy secondary electrons. Characteristic X-rays. In the process of ejection of an inner shell electron, a vacancy is created in the lower energy shell. In order to amend the energy imbalance, an electron from a higher energy level drops to fill the electron hole in a lower level. This is usually accompanied by emission of an X-ray photon having characteristic energy depending upon the difference between the two energy levels involved in an electron transition. Auger electrons. Auger electron emission is another mechanism of stabilizing the atom after inner shell ionization, analogous to X-ray emission. Emission of a core electron occurs by acquiring high amount of energy from incident electron, leaving the ion in a highly excited state. This ion rapidly tends to recline back to a lower energy state by emission of an Auger electron, doubly ionizing the atom. The void formed in an inner shell is filled by an electron tumbling from a higher shell, and the energy liberated in this process is simultaneously transferred to another electron, which may emit from the atom in form of Auger electron. Cathode luminescence. When a crystal is bombarded by high energy electrons, one or more electrons from the lower energy valence band are promoted to the higher energy conduction band. While returning to the ground state valence band, they may be temporarily trapped for a short while, microseconds, into some extrinsic or intrinsic traps made due to the impurities or structural defects in lattice. The loss of energy occur while leaving this trap, usually in UV, visible or IR region, which give rise to luminescence. Scanning electron microscope. SEM requires low kinetic energy electrons which need not penetrate deep inside the sample, instead interact on the surface up to a few nanometer of depth. The electron source is a tungsten filament or a LaB6 cathode housed inside an electron gun smaller than the one used in TEM. The electron beam is accelerated by a low voltage between 2 to 50 kilovolt. The SEM column and the sample chamber are at moderate vacuum of about 10 to the power of minus 5 to 10 to the power of minus 7 torr. To allow the electrons to travel freely from the electron beam source to the sample and then to the detectors. Since the technique does not require to accelerate the electrons much, a strong magnetic field is not needed, therefore, magnetic lenses used are also smaller. A two-stage lens system is placed below the electron gun, which comprises of condenser lens and objective lens. The condenser lens narrows down the electron beam to a spot of about 0.5 to 5 nanometer diameter that scans the specimen. The final lens is an objective lens which focuses this very small probe onto the specimen. The specimen is mounted on a stage which holds it stably while allowing it to move in horizontal or vertical axis, tilt or rotate, so that all the areas of the specimen can be scanned. The beam now passes through a pair of scanning coils located near the end of the column, which deflect the beam in the x and y axis to perform a scan over the sample surface. The signals generated as a result of due interactions in the form of secondary electrons, backscattered electrons, etc. are detected for each position in the scanned area by an electron detector. Different signals intensities are displayed as pattern of varying brightness on a cathode ray tube corresponding to the morphology of sample surface area scanned by the beam. The electron detectors predominantly used in SEM imaging are scintillator type, also known as Eberhard-Thornley detector, meant for secondary electron imaging, and solid state detector for backscattered electrons. Transmission electron microscope. Transmission electron microscopy is particularly meant to study thin specimen which allows the incident electrons to traverse through after due interactions. These interactions are translated into signals which are magnified and focused on imaging device such as phosphor screen or a CCD camera. The lighter areas of the image represent the thinner section of specimen through which greater number of electrons were able to pass, while the darker areas reflect the dense region of the object. This technique allows visualization of samples on a molecular level, allowing topographical, morphological as well as compositional studies. TEM produced two-dimensional images of high resolution of the order of nanometers and magnification ranging from 10 to the power of 2 to 10 to the power of 6 times, enabling to image planes and columns of atoms. The instrument can also be used to produce electron diffraction patterns for crystalline studies. Illumination system. The illumination system comprises of an electron source, a thermionic gun which emits monochromatic beam of electrons. This beam of electrons possesses kinetic energy high enough to traverse through the thin areas of specimen. Electron source inside the gun is a pointed hairpin shaped tungsten filament or a spike shaped lanthanum hexaboride source housed in an electron accelerating chamber. The filament is connected to a high voltage supply about 200 to 300 kilovolt, which heats it up to about 2700 Kelvin. The temperature is sufficient for thermionic emission of electrons from the tungsten. Immediately after emission from the cathode, electrons are accelerated to their final kinetic energy by applying an electric field parallel to the optic axis. Most of the accelerated electrons are absorbed by the anode plate and only 1% pass through the fine hole. Therefore, the beam current in a TEM is typically 1% of the emission current from the cathode. Condenser. The electron gun is followed by a condenser lens system that converges the illumination and produces an almost parallel electron beam which is incident on the specimen in form of a spot. In order to achieve good contrast and wide range of magnification for viewing very small to larger objects in the specimen, most of the electrons that pass through the specimen should fall within a certain diameter corresponding to the screen. The stage. The specimen stage holds the specimen perpendicular to the optic axis. The specimen is placed on a ring-shaped grid and inserted through an airlock into the chamber, which is evacuated before the specimen enters the TEM column. The sample is held stationary during imaging, although it can be displaced in 3 planes and tilted to an angle up to defined distance or degrees with the help of holder adjustments. This helps to align a particular region of specimen into the path of the electron beam so that all possible regions of the specimen can be visualized. Objective. It is an electromagnetic lens made of coils which encounter high excitation current and produce the magnetic field to focus the electrons. The focusing power of lens depends on its excitation and is susceptible to even slight variation in the current. Therefore, highly stabilized current supply is required for accurate focusing of specimen. The coils of lens utilize high voltage and generate large amount of heat, thus are kept under insulation and are provided with thermal distributors. Intermediate lens and projector lens. The intermediate lens produces pattern in the back focal plane of the objective lens, which is used by the projector lens to form image on the screen. The projector lens produces a large image of several centimeters diameter across the fluorescent screen. The projector lens has a focal length of a few millimeter, which serves to minimize the image distortion occurring due to high angle scattering of electrons. TEM screens, detectors and image recorder. A phosphor screen converts the diffraction pattern of electrons into visible light signals. The screen is made of fluorescing material zinc sulfide. As it receives the electrons focused by projector lens, it proportionately emits light in visible range. TEM is coupled with detectors which generate electrical signals proportional to the photon intensity. These signals are transformed into image which can be seen directly on the monitor or can be captured in a camera. Application of microscopy in forensic science. There is no crime without clues. Even the most expert criminals tend to leave behind traces of crimes they committed. They may be cartridge cases left at the scene of crime or damages made with the crowbar handles of the door. Besides the classical fingerprints, the perpetrators of crimes tend to even leave behind hair or fiber traces. Forensic investigation aims at examining these crucial evidences left at the crime scene and analyzing them accordingly. Microscopic examination and analysis of evidences provide valuable results in crime scene investigation. Some of them are gunshot residue analysis, firearm identification, bullet marking comparison, investigation of gemstones and jewelry, examination of paint particles and fibers, filament bulb investigation at traffic signals, handwriting and print examination, counterfeit banknotes, trace comparison, examination of non-conducting materials, high resolution surface imaging. Now let us summarize. Ernst Ruska built the first transmission electron microscope in 1931 at the University of Berlin. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1986 for the instant and the subsequent work on the subject. Electrons accelerated to a particular potential possess the same wavelength which constitutes a more or less monochromatic beam. The beam of high energy electrons interacts with the specimen within a certain area of cross section depending upon the electron beam energy. Highly accelerated electrons are able to transmit through a thin specimen and are used for imaging in TEM. These electrons can transmitted unscattered through the specimen, else can be scattered elastically or inelastically. Transmission electron microscopy is particularly meant to study thin specimen which allows the incident electrons to traverse through after due interactions. These interactions are translated into signals which are magnified and focused on imaging device such as phosphor screen or CCD camera. SEM requires low kinetic energy electrons which need not penetrate deep inside the sample, instead interact on the surface up to a few nanometer of depth.